Welcome to Longing Mind, a podcast encouraging you to explore your curiosity for yourself, others, and the world around you. I'm your host, Alexa Juvan, and wow, it has been a while. I admittedly fell off from this podcast because, to be so honest, I just started overthinking doing podcasting in general, and I wasn't prioritizing keeping up with it. But I'm really excited to be back. And it's August now, so a new month, setting up new systems. I'm planning to be consistent in keeping up with it. I've tried to sort out a schedule and flow that makes more sense for me with all the things that I'm making, so expect regular episodes every Tuesday this month. And speaking of a new month, happy August. August always feels really good to me. I think it might be because it's the 8th month of the year. Lucky 8, very auspicious. It's Leo season. So I'm feeling a lot of strong, confident energy taking over some of the slog that was the first half of the year. And with that, I think it's the perfect time to reflect and break down what's been working and what hasn't so we can end the year strong. Recently, I've been in a reflective mood, and it's been a while since I had journaled or processed everything that I've been feeling and thinking about. I feel like when I had been traveling or whenever I'm away from home, I always am a little bit more intentional about journaling and bringing a notebook around to physically write down what I'm thinking. But since getting home and the pretty busy past 2 months or so, I just haven't had that space and time to sit down and get honest with myself. This past Saturday was August 1st, and to start the month off strong, I ended up writing over 40 prompts to help inspire reflection and introspection. I gathered some of my friends this weekend in Bryant Park to journal and discuss. So if you're interested in the full list of prompts, you can find them on my Substack, Longing Mind. But I thought for today's episode, it could be interesting for me to pull a few of these prompts and just talk through my responses. Hopefully, if you also haven't had the time to reflect recently, maybe some of these questions can help you think through where you're at today and set some better goals or intentions as we approach the rest of this year. So I have my trusty bowl over here. I wonder if you can hear this. I'm gonna just shuffle these a bit and maybe go through about 10 prompts or so. We'll see where it takes us. Okay, this first one says 1 month of summer left. What's on your summer bucket list? Oh, that's a good one. So in the States, at least, August to me is the last month of summer. I think somewhere on my phone, there's a list I made in May or June of a proper bucket list. But off the top of my head, I definitely wanted to go to the beach. I have not done that since getting back to New York. So the beach to me always screams summer. I also wanted to picnic more, and I know I have a couple picnics coming up. I was able to hold like 1 or 2 earlier in the summer, but I feel like there's never enough picnic time. I just want to eat sandwiches in the grass. So more picnics, beach time. I want to watch the sunset and maybe the sunrise at some point before the end of the month. So I actually need to schedule that or be more intentional about being outside that early and finding a good viewpoint to watch the sunset. What else is on this bucket list? I wanted to make, I have a ton of saved food and drink recipes on my reels as well. So I feel like I want to culinarily feel more summery. I also wanted to do a random trip outside of New York, and I might end up doing that sometime this week, which I'm excited for. I wanted to just leave the city, go somewhere else to explore, and be outside. I think between the crazy weather we've had some insane stuff going on between the smoke from the wildfires affecting air quality. We've had intense rain and smog, so I've been pretty inside. But in August, I endeavor to be outside more. So that's on my summer bucket list. What's on your summer bucket list? I'd be so interested to know. All right, let's see this next prompt. All right, this one says, did I start something earlier this year and abandon it? Is it worth trying it again? And that's so funny because I'd say that this podcast is something that I started in May, I believe, was my last episode. And I did abandon it by not sticking with recording new episodes. I had continued to write outlines for episodes, but I wasn't recording and editing. I just lost hope for some reason in my ability to see this through well. But I think it's absolutely worth trying it again. I'm trying not to overthink my creative ideas. So, regardless of who's listening, it's something that I just want more practice with, speaking in this format, sharing ideas, and hopefully inspiring others to do the same. So, I think it's absolutely worth trying it again. And I am going to commit to at least trying to be on a weekly schedule this upcoming month and see how that goes. Try to rinse and repeat as we go throughout the year. So, yes, podcasting. And asking the question again for you. Did you start something earlier this year and abandon it? Is it worth trying it again? On to the next prompt. Let's see. Okay, this one says, do you think you spend enough time with yourself? Does it make you uncomfortable or at peace? So personally, I think I do spend enough time with myself. In some cases, I might not schedule enough time with myself. So I have a tendency to kind of overbook, overcommit to social events, gatherings. And more recently, I've accepted that I need more time to just recharge and focus mental and social energy and effort on things that I want to work on. Otherwise, my time will run away from me. So I think I do spend enough time with myself. I'm being more intentional about scheduling that recharge time. And when I'm with myself, I tend to feel pretty at peace. I really enjoy my company. I enjoy my own company. I feel like it's pretty rare for me to feel FOMO or like exceptionally lonely. But I think part of that stems from me knowing that in the bigger picture, I have a really solid support system of people who I could reach out to if I needed. I think the situation would be different if I didn't have that network and I was truly by myself all the time. But I think that the time I do spend alone is always very restorative. So I'm pretty at peace. But again, I think I should be more outside and I shouldn't be so insular because sometimes I'm a little too okay with being by myself. And I do also recharge when I see friends and socialize with people. So I got to do that more. But again, asking this question for you. Do you think you spend enough time with yourself? Does it make you uncomfortable or do you feel at peace? All right, next question from the bowl. What is one word to guide the next 6 months? Ooh. Okay, so the word that I wanted to define my 2026, I actually wrote this out on a piece of paper somewhere, was audacity. In many ways, I am decently confident, but not audacious enough. And I think I just need to push myself to be out there. Like balls to the walls, proverbial balls to the walls out there with, I don't know, doing whatever the heck I want to do without judging myself in advance. So more audacious. I think this ties into the being outside more, not living as much in my own head, and just asking for stuff because closed mouths don't get fed. So that's my word. And turning this back to you again, what's one word that will guide the next 6 months for you? Okay, on to the next prompt. This one says, do I feel like I'm cruising or choosing my life right now? Okay, I really ate with this prompt. Not gonna lie. Do I feel like I'm cruising or choosing my life right now? And when I wrote this prompt, I was thinking this because I had come to the conclusion somewhat recently that in many ways I've accepted things as they were, or I didn't really push out of my comfort zone substantially to do certain things. So do I feel like I'm cruising or choosing my life right now? I think that lives are the sum of circumstance, but also many, many choices that compound and get you into the place and mindset and experience that you're in today. I feel like from a technical perspective, in many ways through this life, I have been cruising. not always actively choosing things that I would want, but less cruising, but maybe going with options that are safe or more so in my comfort zone, where I know that I can succeed, or it's something that is practical to do versus maybe what I want to do, but something that seems more risky. And so at this point in my life, I feel like I've been choosing more often. So taking less account of what other people are doing, being realistic about my resources, myself, what I want out of life, and making choices that align with the person I want to be and the things I want to do. So as an example, I left my job about 2 years ago, and I feel like that was a very active choice, because oftentimes we can make the decision to kind of cruise, stay in a comfortable situation, and not change our status quo, even if we're not necessarily as happy with how things are going. And so with that choice means you also accept the ramifications of your actions. I think that's where the chasm of of fear and uncertainty is, right? But since making that choice, and over the past couple of years, I've realized that in the end, no people can really judge your choices. Your choices come down to you. Everyone's a different person. And if you're not choosing for you, then circumstantially, other people will be making choices for you. So I think it's better for you to be in control. Acknowledge if you're cruising. If you're cruising, it's not necessarily a bad thing either. But at some point, you need to assess, am I making choices that align with what I want next? And so something that I've had to deal with recently was, okay, in order to take this next step in my career and my life, I do need a job. And what I've realized about myself is I cannot in good conscience choose to be in roles that were the same as before, right? Like for once, I want to completely choose my path. And to me, choosing my path looks like jumping in a completely new direction. I think that I'm exceptionally creative, inspired. I work well with people. So I think no matter what, my job needs to fall in the realm of something expansive, something that feels fresh and like a good application of my current skills, but an environment where I feel pulled. So I'm leading with choice. And for a long time, I've been cruising a bit by not making a decision or not being as clear, kind of being wishy-washy and replying to things that feel more comfortable, even when deep down I knew that that would not be my choice. It would be safe. It would be cruising in a way because it's something you've done before. But it feels very empowering to know that every day we have the ability to choose, and I can choose what comes next. So as scary and uncertain as it may feel sometimes, I feel excited. So yeah, I'm in my choosing era. Turning this question back to you, dear listener, do you feel like you're cruising or choosing your life right now? Right, next question, next prompt from the bowl. All right, this one says, what do you want your August to feel like? On August 31st, you're looking back and thinking, ooh, okay. So I want my August to feel like one of those anime montages of the titular character and the friends running through a field into the sunset. Like one of those montages of, wow, all these fantastic things are happening. Everything's not going great all the time. Obviously there's adversity, but you just get this sense of rising hope and constant action. It's like, oh, so many things are being discovered. Everything is shining. There's so much possibility. And so I want my August to just feel like a montage, like a movie, like a we did it ending credit. Can't wait for season 2. Like that's what I want my August to feel like. By August 31st, as I look back on this month, I want to think to myself, we did a good job. We meaning me and me, inside me, outside me. But truly, I want to think, okay, all the ideas that I had, I just did it. I didn't think too much. I just executed. I want to look back and think, okay, I've connected with more people. I've pushed my energy outward, like stretched myself out of my comfort zone a bit more in ways that maybe I didn't think were possible at this point last month. And I want to think to myself, I have no regrets having acted. I think my problem is I often restrain myself from doing things, even if I have the thought to do so. I like hold back on taking action. And I think that's out of both fear of the unknown and maybe just this wavering sense of self-confidence that I deserve whatever happens next, right? But I'm getting rid of that mindset. I'm working on it. So I'm going to think back, wow, we did that and we're doing amazing. I can't wait for September. So that is my response. Turning this back to you, listener. What do you want your August to feel like? On August 31st, you're looking back and thinking, fill in the blank. Okay. I think we're about halfway through the prompts for today. But definitely leave a comment or send me a message. I want to know if you like this format and these prompts. All right, this next one says, what's something you're proud of doing so far this year? Ooh, I like this. So this year, I'm really proud actually of starting my YouTube channel because that's truly been something that I've wanted to do. Like when I was a kid growing up watching YouTube, I wanted to eventually grow up and make videos as well, so badly. And there's something really satisfying about knowing that, okay, I've put a couple of videos together, I kind of get the workflow down, and though it's hard work and it takes longer than I think even I expected to go and edit, I'm really proud of the progression of my editing. I enjoy watching the vlogs. I like sharing them with my friends and family, and having even my mom say like, oh, the quality of the vlog has improved a lot since your first one. So yeah, I'm proud of this YouTube, and I'm excited to continue over the next couple of months to get through my backlog of footage, because dang, I have been on a lot of trips last year and this year. I'm so grateful for all the travel I've been able to do. But I was sitting on that footage for a long time, and there's something so cathartic about finally getting it out into the world. I don't even care if it's viewed by that many people, but I'm having a hell of a time making it, crafting it, working on my process, and just being able to look back on these memories is something I have a lot of fondness for. All right, so turning this question back to you, what's something that you're proud of doing so far this year? Okay, on to the next prompt. Ooh, okay. This one says, what are 1 to 3 ways you can push past your comfort zone this month? Ooh, all right. I think one way, I kind of was speaking to this before, but one way is just posting the damn content, and enough said. I hold on to too many things, and I think it is out of my comfort zone to just crank things out and put it into the ether, but I really enjoy it. So I just want to get more consistent and put my words out there, words and ideas out there, even more than I already am. Another way I could push past is trying to network, actually, and just connect with more people, more strangers, understand their paths. Networking has never been one of my favorite things to do. Even though my background is business, as a business student, I think there's always been the sense that networking feels really fake. It always feels, to me at least, often you're just trying to get something out of someone, and good networking doesn't look this way. But I feel like you need to have a really solid intention and understanding of the person who you're working with, like what you're trying to get out of the interaction in order for networking to be a success. I think it's more organic to naturally connect with people in life and see if you can slot yourself in. But especially as I'm considering a career pivot, I think that networking will be really big for me, just to understand what I need to do, like what the landscape is today, and head in the right direction. And let me think. Another way I could push past my comfort zone is, So something I've been putting off that I've wanted to do, but I guess it's out of my comfort zone because I've been putting it off, is enrolling in some type of class, whether it's a writing course or a language course. I think it's out of my comfort zone because kind of naturally I don't love that feeling of being a beginner, but I love the feeling of learning something. So these two demons in my head have been fighting each other, and I think it'll be so enjoyable to be learning in a almost like a classroom setting, to be able to work on my either writing craft from a technical standpoint or just improve my language skills, because I have wanted to take Mandarin courses for a while, but I've just held off on doing it. I just should look into it and see it as an investment in myself, because all this time that I think about it and I don't do it is time wasted that I probably could have been more locked in advancing my ability. So yeah, getting the content out, networking, and signing up for a course. Catch me in a couple weeks. I will give you an update on how all of these have gone this month. But turning this prompt back around to you, listener, what are 1 to 3 ways that you can push past your comfort zone this month? Okay, back into the bowl we go. Ooh, this is a fun one. So this says, what music have you been enjoying this summer? So the summer for me always feels like dance hall, reggaeton, like hot girl summer energy. So I've been listening to a lot of Megan Thee Stallion, as I do. I think girl groups have been up. I love Flow. Leak It has been on repeat. Say Now also has a great song called Millions. So I feel like the girl group is really up this summer. Girl set. Yeah, the girls are making booty poppin' music, and I'm here for it. I've also been listening to a bunch of throwbacks for my friend's birthday recently. Shout out Kayla. We went to Six Flags, and in the car ride there and back, we were blasting bops and putting a bunch of like early 2000s, pre-2010 alt pop rock, and it just felt so nostalgic. I think something about summer nostalgia is the music that I listened to when I was a kid growing up. I think especially because I live in New York and I don't drive, I don't have that experience anymore of being in the car, playing the radio, and having that set of songs that is on rotation, like whatever's playing now, associated with the summer. So for me, a lot of summer hits are going to be summer hits from when I was growing up. I feel like ever since the advent of streaming, there's less, or at least to me, it feels like there are fewer summer songs, because you can really pick and choose what you're listening to at any time. And sometimes I'm really not up to date with what songs are coming out. So the songs I'll gravitate towards are going to be like old bangers from the 2000s. So I've been listening to a bunch of things. My music taste is all over the place. So if you have questions about that, or you want to know any particular songs, feel free to message me or comment on Spotify. I'll be happy to link a couple of choice songs or a choice playlist for you. And turning this question back to you, what music have you been enjoying this summer? And maybe a bonus add-on to this is make a playlist of the songs that remind you of summer. Back into the bowl. All right. Ooh. All right. This prompt says, have you told the people you love and appreciate how much you do? Call or text someone today just because. Right. Now, I remember I wrote this prompt because it feels like, especially recently, there's been a lot of friends of friends, people that I don't personally know, but that good friends of mine know and cared for, who have passed away. And many of them have passed away pretty young, far before their time. So I think death has just been on my mind. I think it's so important to never take time for granted, and to just tell the people you love, or tell the people in your life how you feel about them. Make sure that they feel seen. If something touches your heart, or if you have something that comes to mind, like a compliment that you want to tell someone, even if you don't know them, just say it. You never know if it can make their day. And I think you always want people to know where you stand. So I've definitely tried to do more of this. I think there's always room to improve and keep doing it, not to forget. And I try to call or message the people who are in my life if something reminds me of them, or just to say hi and then I'm thinking of them. But hopefully you can do the same. So back to you. Have you told the people you love and appreciate just how much you do? Try to call or text someone today just because. Okay, and now I think I'll just pull one more for this episode. Okay, and this one says, what does everything working out look like? Describe it. Wow. Everything working out. I think that's so hard to say because it's almost like when things go well, you're already thinking about the next thing. But for me, especially as I've been in this season of like, I'm not going to say stagnation, but I think like contemplation on what to do next, creating more and just feeling better about my base energy, everything working out. I'm imagining myself in the future, like at an undisclosed location near the beach, like a beachside villa. I'm going to think big. I think it would be awesome to have a little garden, a dog. I would love to have the funds and funding to set up some type of communal house or location where everyone can just hang out or everyone can come if they're traveling somewhere. Like, I want to be able to host people, host gatherings, and just spend time with people I care about or facilitate gatherings so people can connect even better. So everything working out looks like having funds to do so, having funds to facilitate getting people together in these spaces. It looks like having the means to take care of my family if I can. It looks like me in like some bomb outfits. Clothing has been on my mind just because I really need to revamp my wardrobe. So it's not just about clothing. I just really want to just like look amazing and have clothing that reflects me because it's been so long since I've properly shopped. And I think especially turning 30 and coming into a new decade, I'm like, ooh, my clothing doesn't feel the way I want to feel in this chapter. So I need to revamp that. But going back to this prompt, everything working out. I think in a lot of ways it's going to make me feel the way I do now, but even more so like, okay, everything I ever thought of and dreamed to create, it's out there. And I'm able to connect with like-minded people. We're able to do the things. I can just go anywhere I want, when I want to. It's really like freedom of expression, freedom of location. Yeah. And I think it's all going to feel like a movie. It's going to feel like a montage, you know? So, yeah, I think I'm not so clear on the overall picture exactly of what everything working out looks like, but I sure know it's going to feel amazing. And that's all I'm aiming for it to feel good, for everyone around me to be healthy, and for us to be living our best life and our truth, you know? I think that sense of calm of, yeah, everything is working. I feel at peace with myself, with the things around me. It'll be a good time. And so turning this back to you, listener, as our last prompt of this podcast, what does everything working out look like for you? Describe it. All right. With that, I want to thank you so much for listening to Longing Mind. If you like this episode, please follow and maybe even share it with someone you know. I'll catch you in the next one.